Parshas Lech Lecha. This is a shiur adapted from the shiurim of Meiri Rebbe, Moran Hagoin, Reb Henach Leibowitz, Zeichat Tzaddik Livrocha. It says in the pasuk, when Avraham Avinu heard that his brother, that Lot, was taken captive, the pasuk says, Vayorek es chanichav yilidei beisai. Vayorek is translated to mean he armed his students born in his house to help him free Lot from captivity. And he went as far as done. The Gemara in Nidorim, Lamed Beis Amud Aleph, states that Vayorek means that Avram brightened his students with gold. He gave them much gold. Why did Avraham Avinu give gold to his students who were accompanying him to free Lot? Taisvis in Sukkah, Lamed Aleph Amud Beis, explains, Shelo yehu lohut achar hamomin v'yisasku b'hatzolas nefoshes, which means so that these students of Avram Avinu should not be tempted to secure for themselves spoils of war laying in the battlefield on the way, and would be able to concentrate on saving lives. That's why he gave them gold. According to this explanation of Taisvis, the pasuk is saying that prior to their embarking on the sacred mission to rescue Lot from captivity, Avram Avinu gave each and every one of his students an abundance of gold. The reason for this somewhat strange behavior for people going to war was that in the course of battle, these students might be tempted by the glitter and glare of the spoils of war lying on the battlefield. They would stop, even if only briefly, for a few short moments, to acquire this newfound wealth and thus jeopardize their goal of saving Lot. Avram Avinu foresaw the possibility and gave them gold to counter this temptation. They no longer would need to stop. They would now be independently wealthy on their own. This clearly implies that had Avram Avinu not given them the gold, there would have been a significant possibility that indeed these students of Avram Avinu would have stopped and become diverted from their sacred mission to rescue Lot by the lure of financial gain. This is mystifying. Who were these students of Avram Avinu that were accompanying him on this mission of saving Lot. The Gemara in Nidorim, Lamed Beis Amud Aleph, says that these students were Gedolei Torah and Tzaddikim in their own right, worthy of being disciples of the patriarch of Klal Yisrael, Avraham Avinu. These noble people had volunteered to risk their lives l'shem Shemayim for the holy mitzvah of Atzolas Nefoshes, of rescuing Lot from captivity. Question: is it conceivable that such great and idealistic people, as they surely were, would they jeopardize their entire mission by stopping to acquire for themselves the spoils of war? Wouldn't rational people, as they surely were, understand how precious every moment actually was? Wouldn't they realize that tarrying even for a few short moments could jeopardize their entire mission? Surely it made no sense for them to stop even for one moment. They surely wouldn't stop. Why then did Avram Avinu deem it necessary to give them gold? They're not going to stop. It doesn't make sense for them to stop. They will jeopardize their entire mission. Furthermore, for what reason should the Talmidei Avram Avinu have any desire to deter from their path to pick up spoils of war? Another point. What worth is monetary spoils of war to people who are willing to sacrifice their most priceless possession, namely their very lives? They're willing to sacrifice their lives. They're willing to go to war to save Lot. Is it at all conceivable that they would be willing to give up their lives for the sake of this mission by going to war, but would not be willing to give up this opportunity to amass for themselves precious spoils of war? They're willing to give up their lives, but they're not willing to give up this opportunity for financial growth. If so, it would be wholly illogical for the Talmidei Avram Avinu to deter from their path to pick up spoils of war. To give up their lives, they're willing to give up their lives, but they're not willing to continue on their path and forget about the spoils of war. So why then did Avram Avinu give them gold to counter such a temptation? We see from here a personal, profound insight into the human temperament. Even rational people, Gedolei Torah and Tzaddikim, embarking on a sacred life-saving mission, willing to risk their own lives for the sake of this goal. We see that even people like this can stray from their path and engage themselves in insignificant matters. While on the path to gain to attain their holy objective. They will see the enticing gleam and glitter of the spoils of war lying in the battlefield, and they will be attracted to it. When the radiance of the precious stones and pearls will shine in their faces, a hypnosis will befall them, a temporary paralysis. I remember when the Rebbe used these words, at zeitweilige Paralyse, temporary paralysis. They're on their way. They were on their way to a life-saving mission, and on their way they see the pearls of, they see all kind of gleam and glitter of spoils of war lying on the battlefield. They become sort of hypnotized when they see this gold laying in the fields, and their it would cause the logic of their mission and its holy objective to cease. They will stop functioning. The glitter and gold of the spoils of war laying in the field will bring upon them a temporary hypnosis, a temporary paralysis. This is the mechanism of human nature. Avraham Avinu, with his brilliance and depth, foresaw and understood these inner temptations of the human being. He therefore addressed the issue directly by satiating that desire from the outset, by giving his Talmidim an abundance of gold prior to their embarking on their mission to rescue Lot, in order to counter that temptation. Perhaps we can apply this thought to our very own lives. Hashem created us and charged us with a mission and purpose in life, to do Hashem's will, to study and observe His holy Torah, and to disseminate it. Despite the fact that we are fully cognizant of this sacred mission, which is our obligation on earth and the purpose of our creation, and despite the fact that we may set out to attain this goal with great self-sacrifice, we can nevertheless become distracted from this whole noble goal. We can involve ourselves in trivial pursuits and in matters of zero spiritual consequence. We can tarry on the way to the extent that we may never attain our holy objective, which means so very much to us, and for which we're willing to sacrifice so very much. May we recognize this inherent weakness within us, and may we find the inner strength to overcome it. May we be zeicha to never be distracted from the sacred mission for which we have been created. Amen v'yamen.